pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Why don't you have a roll call, please?
Sure, we got Jerry, John, Justin,
Here.
Brian.
Here.
Absent, please, let
Lexi.
we'll move a motion to approve the agenda, please. Motion carries. People let know if there any citizen comment concerning any items on the agenda. Online?
No, not anything.
Yeah.
There's just one person there that, yep, so if they wanted to make any comments, they can unmute.
Okay.
But yeah.
We'll close citizen comment at this time. And you want any questions about the consent agenda? Make a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll second it. Brian, aye. Justin, aye.
Motion carries. Move on to Parks and Rec. And Stacy?
You guys have any questions with my update?
I know that the old baseball coach used to do sport. I think for one of it, is that the new coach for you to take care of that?
Yes. They've already actually done a good job, so they just started practicing again. Before they even started practicing, they did a planting. They literally picked up every single little plastic, anything combined throughout the entire stadium seating, picked all the weeds and the batting cage areas but yes, they were nothing to do all that work before. So yes.
Stacy, what are preschool workshops?
So trying to go back after COVID, I kind of stopped doing them, but basically for 3 to 5 year olds, it's just an hour clinic, if you will. Each month I had a different theme, if you will. So like October, I did Halloween theme. So kids come dressed up, we just do games, crafts, that kind of stuff for an hour. Just kind of get activated with other kids, have some fun. Honestly, I have 2 people interested in doing it, so it is going to depend on their schedules. In the past, I had done it on Fridays at 9 or 10 a.m. That will not work with people I've got so far. I've actually done these before elsewhere, and that what they did on Saturday mornings, so that's really popular. So I think we're gonna try something like that. So I can get some people that work full time to still be able to do. I do have one other thing. If you guys have any questions? I did hear from NSCC today, actually, a little history. A few years ago, I was approached by an individual who was doing pretty much a feasibility study on what the chances of getting athletics within NSCC at the Piasta campus would be. And hadn't heard a lot said about it, heard some problems, but not any definitive moving forward proof. I did actually just get an email this morning that they want to meet to discuss kind of a little further details. Still no confirmation with anything, but just kind of talk a little more detail to see if there's any way they'd be able to use some of our facilities in order to do so. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what sports. There's a lot of questions yet. Just as an FYI, something if you have a discussion, kind of see what happens.
They have put in their annual plan this year to hire an athletic director, so there isn't intention to move forward. Did they? They did. Okay.
Yep, it must just.
Okay. Do you have any clubs?
Anything else for? Police chief?
Hey, you guys have my report. Before we move into the other, do you have any questions on the report? Before we go into the Parker Street and the Humane Society contract?
No issues around the gas today?
Yeah, it went well. Yeah, I mean, very little issues. Parade was great. The run, it worked out good, barricading the streets, everything went good. for the most part, we had just a little issues with some juvenile kids that parked there for a little short time, but, that got handled and everything's good. It was a good event.
It was a great event.
Yeah. It's-
Go ahead and lead into your.
Yeah, so the next one, let me look here, I'm sorry, the closure for the trunk or treat. So we talked about this at the work session too. Basically just getting your guys' approval for the, closing up the road of, Yes Community Parkway to Adrena in that ballpark area. Police department will be taking care of closing that down. We'll set up cars barricades so nobody will get through. We'll make sure everybody gets through and then you get through and it's basically you guys' blessing to do so.
I think I would like something verbally.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a motion to approve that
I'll
recommendation.
make the motion to approve, police chief's recommendation about closing the street for the October 26th front and treat event. Ryan,
Motion carries.
And then the main study contract, I did speak with them, I got an email back today. They are very open to doing a 3 or 5 year contract next year, so that's probably what we'll do next year. We'll sign this one tonight if you guys are willing to do so, and we'll, I don't know, next year.
The motion to approve that.
Make a motion with the contract. Yes,
I'll second it.
Ryan,
Justin, I.
Right, there.
Motion carries.
And then I get a document to sign and I get it. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Dean. Public Works.
questions on the monthly report or like, updates on? So received a call from Logan Smith. They moved the dozer out to the park this week. I believe it was Tuesday. No, not today, yesterday, I'm sorry. Plans on starting work out there next Monday. To my knowledge, there is a group that is supposed to come out there and cut up logs this weekend, so if anybody sees any action out there, that's what that's about. The logs are at this time going to be shared with the fire department for their auction. So, that should turn out to be a pretty good donation for them. And then also on the gospel turn lane, do expect possibly some closures next week. Probably about midweek.
Complete closures are down to 1 lane.
Probably complete local closures, but not, won't be a 24-hour closure, just, through the work hours, possibly 10, 12 hours. So, and I'll get an update again on Thursday and to bring that on an email. If there's gonna be a shorter notice of something like Monday, but otherwise expected around Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, will you be posting the DOT posting signs for the drive the
Yeah, the detour is all contracted through whoever their subcontractor is.
so they got closed right there and have that sign up.
Okay, absolutely. I would have to think that if next week, if there's any closure, it's probably gonna relate just to the area between Tennis Lane and probably Birds Road. I don't think it'll be a continuation from Birds Road and Cat next week yet anyway. That would be my anticipation.
Trying to keep an eye on.
But definitely give an update for the end.
Okay, awesome. Anything else?
Nothing else for me.
Everybody have any questions? Easy to follow the punch ball turn. All right. Mayor report. I've been working with Stacy to add some additional people to the Parks Connect board. So hopefully we'll start to see some new people on there, some new blood on there. And you'll see me later on the agenda, talk with Brian Heyer, joining the planning and zoning, after we get them approved tonight. We attended the meeting last night to kind of get a flavor of it, so we still is interested in moving forward, so, okay. I had a discussion with Jeff Burge about that property for the solar array, and kind of got him to understand where we were coming from, that we were looking for, to give them wind away, and I said, you know, we're trying to get at least somewhat of this food by asking for a minimum amount. He has agreed to that, and I don't know if he has turned his application.
He has not
His
yet.
request, okay,
He's working with Corey, on putting the request together.
okay, so that'll be, coming up. Do that. And, talk to someone AJ about the, property, the new property on the south side, about the water tower and stuff, so we're moving forward on that. And that would be all I have. Any other questions? All right, we'll move on to resolution authorizing approving a loan and disbursement agreement and providing for the issuance and securing of payment of $553,000 to the revenue bonds series 2023.
Does anybody have any questions on that?
I saw the first 2 years of principal payments are just $1,000. Is that typical? They're back in the month.
Yes.
Looks like our interest rate is good. 1.75, worked out a lot.
Yeah, try to find
We
it
were
somewhere
talking
else, yeah.
about too, so-
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. I don't have any questions.
Any other questions? We need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing, approving the loan and disbursement agreement. Providing the issuance and securing the payment of $553,000 sewer revenue bonds, series 2023.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
Motion carries. Resolution approving the Gaston Center City Hall improvement project, payout number 5. This will start being, have you looked this over then?
I have not been involved.
Okay.
Just to clarify, this is change order 5.
Change
related to the center project. And if I may, I guess I can elaborate on this. Addresses several items that have occurred on site here over the last couple of months. Some of them we've been considering with city staff for a while. One being the replacement of all the existing security cameras to match kind of the new style and platform that's being added to the new city hall space. As I understand, there's kind of two systems out there currently, so the intent was to get everything on a common platform and upgrade to match. I can kind of start at the top. I think you all have been privy to some of the unsuitable soils experiencing it on site that require some over excavation. That is the first item. This change order also addresses some changes in the structural steel support required for the folding partition door within the new council chamber. That had some different anchorage requirements that we had to address and work with the contractor through that. Also addresses added an access control keypad for the staff entry door from the track into the new reception area. We had to make some changes to the elevator sump pits. That was one item that we're intending with some of the work that Dean was coordinating. Directional drilling from the south to drain, but by code, we needed to take that to the room. So we had to upsize the pump to meet the requirements there. Some piping modifications as well. The last item, some changes to the lower level electrical, added a few additional circuits to serve the golf simulator room as well as the daycare, routing those now from the lower level power panels as opposed to from City Hall, so that way Stacy and her staff has control of those. And has some capacity for future. Want to add additional equipment to that same thing.
A question on number 1, I feel like we've already approved the change related to over excavation.
That was for the southern pier. These are,
Was for
this was, yeah, experienced again, the northmost 2 piers. Now, these were not as sandy as soil, so we didn't have as much, material there, so it is a less costly, I guess.
And then number three, do I assume we didn't put access control stuff in the original budget?
There is, throughout, but we added one additional door
Okay,
to have that access.
okay.
Control.
What's the alternative on the security cameras? I mean, not having them on the same platform, where the other ones kind of close to end of life, or
Stacy can probably speak to this a bit better than I do.
what's the?
I can speak to the current system we have in terms of, our first system, we, I would say around a decade ago, with, what's the board, all, your guys' time, but, with the PD, and PCC went in with the safety grant for DRA way back when, and they're the ones that got the original camera system. The platform only uses Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer no longer exists. And so yeah,
It's
technology is.
That you just answered my question. Okay.
Any other questions on the change order request? Now, will the motion approved?
Resolution for the Piazza Community Center Improvement Project, a change order number 5.
Oh, sorry.
Brian, aye.
Come on.
Motion carries.
That's one more question.
Yes.
This work's already done.
No,
No, okay.
well, the canopy footings, yes, were addressed. That was one that we got for approval from that. Okay, so they can keep them.
Makes sense.
Resolution approving Brian Hire to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Appointment to be replacing Diane Burkholder step down. Commission term will expire on April 1st, 2024. And at that time, it will be 5 years ending April 1st, 2029.
Brian attended our meeting last night, and I think it's going to be a very valuable addition to the group, so.
No pressure, David. No pressure.
This was Ryan makes the speech or something.
Yeah, I think I'd like to address the council.
Thanks
I'll
for
make a
your
motion
words.
to, I'll make a motion to approve the hire.
I'll second it. Brian, aye. Nelson, aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Resolution approving the purchase of skin bites for the community center.
This spends down the rest of that credit, right?
Correct. Well, with the exception, so we have the money, I still have like 41,000 change, but that's going to the golf simulator,
Right.
and that will extend, which will be bought soon.
Cool.
Yes.
Great. Brian, aye. Nelson, aye.
Carries. Now, resolution for amending fees. For projects that have been started and done without permit. And this establishes a fee for, with a penalty for investigation, you have to find out that there was no permit issue. So kind of a penalty for not getting permit prior to starting.
Is this a big challenge for you?
It can be, yeah. Sometimes we have to call, it's usually smaller ones like roofs, things like that. Like our big builders are still, they're taking them out, but it's something that we're seeing and then we're having to track them down and get them to fill it out and pay it and.
Is it frequent?
Mm, Chris and Shawnee do more with the permits, but I feel like recently it has been.
I guess my question is if it's people that should know better, like they're in that business and they are not used to getting permits or this homeowner is doing things that just gets honest, they don't know. Yeah, I don't really want to punish that.
I think it's a little bit of both. And this is typical for a city to have this
Mhm.
be in place.
How do you know?
Yeah.
You know, if they,
They should have known.
It's the same guy over and over.
That's always the excuse of I didn't know.
If it was the ability to charge it, it's not to say that it can't be waived in the circumstances. What's the range on the cost of our fees? With all these
Yes.
are on this list, so. I don't know if it'll really serve as a deterrent, even if it's double, I think they're gonna still have people miss,
they don't know,
they don't know, they don't. Limit kind of.
Well, basically, we're saying we're doing it in our ordinance, so we are putting this in place to, I guess, put some teeth into it.
Lisa, I'm fine with it in there.
I feel like the contractors are probably, you know, we have, the resident would be one thing, like I wouldn't have known.
Right.
Didn't purchase a permit for when I put my water heater in, I had no idea I needed one.
Right.
But I would say it's more like, oh, you're putting a roof on, the contractor should know. If they're a contractor that has put roofs on before, they should know.
Somebody starts remodeling their basement. Just go to a homeowner, you know, or like, understand that. Contractor is the problem. Want to move forward, or are you gonna?
Or like a one-time grace. Yeah, you get one. I like that. No, if not,
That's totally up to you.
I'd like to refine this a little more. I would never know that I need to
Yeah.
pull a permit for one reader.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the average homeowner that just doesn't understand. What they're really wanting to understand. Take no action on this tonight.
Yeah, if you have other suggestions, like if you'd rather do like a flat fee of $10, $20, we could do that. It's for like, we see, oh, there's shingles sitting outside this person's house, and now we have to drive down the street and figure out who lives there and call them and try to get, you know, it's taking our time, so. You know, so, but I agree, like with the resident, you know, I think that we could have more flexibility, you know,
It takes more time off.
Yeah. October work session.
so, okay,
Go through that a little more then.
sure, you bet.
Okay. And that is resolution for county tax abatement for lot $200 and 13. Yeah.
This is going through the list of city-owned properties to make sure that we're not being, that our property taxes are being waived. So we believe that we have them all. Yeah.
We believe
believe.
I'll make a resolution for county tax abatement to request a lot to get under value on the street and by 13. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Brian, I.
So tonight,
Motion carries. Next, we've got, resolution of approving joint agreement with Lee County on Sundown Road overlay.
This is so we get better pricing. It makes sense to, join forces with the county on this. Also, I submitted an application today to DMAX. So, our out-of-pocket expense for this is $50,000. So
Nice. Right. We were talking about higher than that.
it's over 200,000. So our match would be 30,000. So hopefully that gets approved.
We talked about this, yes, previously.
I'll second it.
Brian, I.
So tonight,
Motion carries. So, resolution for reviewing property use plats.
This went before planning and zoning last night, and Doug put together the 3 separate resolutions. I think he has some notes in there. That explain, I mean, if you want to go ahead, I can read those out loud.
Yeah.
The first resolution approves acceptance of 2 acquisition plats and authorizes the acceptance of a deed to said right of way. The second resolution approves the plat of easement and authorizes the mayor to enter into an easement agreement substantially consistent with the easement agreement attached hereto. And then the third and final resolution approves the plat survey on lots 1 through 3 and lot 2-3 of Path Forks. And then once we approve these resolutions tonight, we can do the transfer of property to Mr. Spiegel.
We have to do these all separately.
I think the way that Doug has it written, I would prefer you did it that way.
So. Acquisition plans.
Yes, the first resolution approves the acceptance of the 2 acquisition plats. And if you'd like to make that motion, the notes are in administrative content.
And all of these have been recommended for by planning and zoning.
That is correct, yes. And Brian can attest to it.
Impressive. I'll make a resolution to approve the acceptance of 2 acquisition plans and authorize the acceptance of the deed for the right of way.
I'll second.
Brian, aye.
Justin, I.
Motion carries. Next up, resolution approving the plat of easement.
I'll make a motion to apply the easement to authorize the mayor to execute easement agreements.
I'll second it.
Brian, aye.
Justin, I.
Motion carries. And the third resolution to approve the plat of survey lot 1, 3, and lot 2, 3 of Cat Court.
We'll make a motion to approve the class survey lot 1-3 and lot 2-3 of Cat Court.
I'll second the motion. Brian, aye.
Justin, I.
And then do we need a resolution for the?
We do not, that's passed back in 2018, so we do have a warranty deed that you and Marcy will need to sign.
Okay. Those all carried. Resolution for terminating project easements.
Yeah, this one's a doozy.
At least
I think my recommendation would probably be to go ahead and make the approvals for each one of them, but I see no issue with doing something very similar to what we do with our consent agenda. If you're comfortable with that. I think if Doug wanted it any other way, he would have put the notes in there.
pretty straightforward.
Justin, I.
Carries. Ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Scottsdale, found in the region of California, local food vendors. We already talked about instead of doing it for the calendar year, over the 12 months. So when they first do the permit.
Make a motion to approve the code of orders of the city of Scottsdale by the addition of Title 3, Chapter 8.
I'll second.
Ask a question. Yes. No, it's fine. Did we talk about grandfathering in people that have a permit that they bought inside the calendar year and expires at the end of the year? I don't think we did.
No, I think this is just moving forward.
Okay. For new permits.
Yes.
Brian,
Justin, I.
motion carries.
Mayor, can I ask if the council would entertain to suspend the rules and waive second, third reading?
You may ask and the council may request.
I'll make a motion to approve waiving second, third reading.
I'll second that motion. Brian,
Justin, I.
motion carries. We need a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Right.
Motion
carried. Next up is ordinance amending the title 6 physical environment, chapter 5. Really bold, the ordinance of the city of Johnstown.
This is the second reading.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance amending Title 6 physical environment, chapter 5, utilities code of ordinances for the city of Piasta, second reading. I'll second it. Brian, aye.
Motion
Motion carries. Down to ordinance amending Title 6 physical environment, chapter 4, utilities refuse collection. This is on the discussion of this language. Anyone have any other issues with the way it reads tonight with the garden plants, grass clippings, leaves, twigs, tree branches and shrubs? The only consideration maybe instead of calling it a compost pile, it's not really a compost pile. Is there any validity to renaming it to a yard waste or a site? Yard waste is their site or what's that?
Yard waste disposal, yard waste facility.
Yard waste facility. Microphone at a yard waste facility. Memorial yard waste.
not really, way more than 50 pounds of that.
But we can take care of that. So I guess I need clarification on what you want to call it. From being a compost to. I mean, we can certainly just call it a residential garden garden waste site.
Yeah, that's fine. And very, I like, even the disposal in there, I think that's kind of defined what it is more than the.
So you want residential yard and garden waste disposal.
Site. I like that.
You like it being visible on the tongue?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, like, we'll come up with an acronym.
Butter.
All right, so then we'll need a motion to approve with the title change and the gum change in weighing more than 50 pounds.
I'll second.
Ryan, aye.
Justin, aye.
Motion carries.
Council entertain and an option to suspend the second and third reading. I didn't need to give you off, Mayor. That's
That's where I was going, but you got it.
Okay.
Go team.
Make a motion to suspend the second for the meeting.
I'll second it.
Ryan, aye.
Justin, aye.
Motion carries, waiving the second and third reading, and then we made a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt. I'll second.
Ryan, aye.
Justin, aye.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll open up for any citizen comment. The citizens come in a little bit later. You wanted to address the council this evening,
Yes, sir.
and I'll need a name and address.
Yes. 75.
All right, yes, sir.
Here we got a bill today, yesterday for $30-some hundred for cutting grass. I don't know a damn thing about, so when did this ordinance come up? And who creates frickin' ordinances? I wanna know. Why do we do this?
What do
We've been doing this in this town for 50-some years. Why do we have to deal with a new thing and not be told?
I believe your company's notified.
I was not notified, or I had it done. I get a bill for $2,300. I have $25,000 worth of cutting material, equipment, maybe more. And I don't get notice. Who got the notice? Who got the?
The property owner gets the notice.
I did not get a notice.
whoever is listed on the GIS, the property, as the property owner, that is the lien going to.
It's really easy for somebody to make an ordinance. Then I'm told it has to go 8 inch and you gotta cut it.
Well, that ordinance has been on the book.
You do not develop. You're not a developer. You know what we go through? And all the bullshit we have to put up with? Come on. Who knows that? Why do we have to put up with more? And they get a bill for $4,some $100. I don't even know about it. We would have got it done if I had known about
Did you check with the company that owns the property, if anyone in the company knew about it?
it. I didn't know
Okay,
it. Why don't I get it?
because it went to the property owner, which is the company, not you personally. If it would have been your property personally, you would have gotten a notice.
When we make new ordinances.
Yep.
Who does it?
The council does.
Do they know how much money we spend to develop something? And all the things we gotta put up with? Come on. It's easy for you to do something like that, but why would you bill us for cutting grass? I don't understand that. And then I'm told it's supposed to be 8 inches high. Come on. Have you ever developed, any of us ever developed? You ever spend the money it takes? Takes millions of dollars to do these projects. And then we get treated like shit. Not only that, we pay this frickin' town $4 million a year in taxes. Why? Because you're making ordinances? Boy, it's easy for you, isn't it? It's easy. Oh, I can do that. But I can't.
I also have a few of that bill too, because I got a bill today and I didn't get it in the mail. That is actually why chief of police has to deliver bills. Why city doesn't use the mail services.
I believe that you were mailed and did not respond, and,
I didn't
there
get
was
the mail,
there was a certified letter sent that did not get.
but I got a regular letter in the mail. I got a certified letter in the mail for that.
And did you sign that and send that back in?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know one letter, for some reason, I don't know why, but one letter later, I never got a notice in my house. So I never picked it up, and Mike gave it to me. I mean, I said, I never, remember, I told you, never had a notice in my house, but not fact of that, fact of this, that I got the letter, and I called him right away. Mike actually was a witness in the phone conversation. And I told her, I have a schedule to do that, but his equipment broke down, and he said he's gonna fix it. He will try to get it over a weekend. When he showed up on Saturday, city already had a guy cutting grass over the weekend. First question. Second question, I just drove from Thunder Valley Drive here to the meeting. Jeff Bird is on lot number 4 in Thunder Valley 3. That grass is over 2 feet. Why he's not over that?
He has native plantings there. That's not grass.
I mean, we
What you're saying, is we can put native grass in, it don't matter?
and white corner of Fox Springs and Thunder Valley Drive is not cut. That grass is probably close to 3 feet right now.
Where again?
Northeast corner of Thunder Valley and Fox Springs. I don't own that lot. No, that's the sisterhood one. Why that wasn't cut? And it's big chunk of it is not cut, so like, city chooses who to screw or who to let it go, or how that works. Second, that ladder I got built from one company for 5 different companies. I'm supposed to pay that bill from one company. It says here, ladder address Thunder Valley residences. I'm partner with another one. And grass was cut on Thunder Valley Drive, but both sides of Juliana Drive. And I don't know what both sides is meant, because one side of Juliana Drive is full, residents have it. Unless you're talking about the charity lane, I'm gonna take it tomorrow, dig it out, or what do you want to do? So city agreed to take care of that land, of that road, that's why the left open. And also lot in Thunder Valley, that's completely different company, the empty lot across the pond, there's a couple different one company. If you're doing the work, then send bill to each individual owner, right?
You know, if you're gonna run a community like this, run a development.
I have no desire to develop that anymore. I cannot work here. I mean, I cannot talk to anybody, everything has to be reported or approved. Then when I talk to somebody, it was denied. All the time, that, and I was assuming that I was fine. I mean, how it's supposed to work?
I'm done. I won't do another damn thing in this town. If you don't get rid of this bullshit, because we don't have time to. That is all we got to do. It's a lot of other battles we have to survive. We took all the increase in prices for the year, which is terrible. Now the interest rates are growing nuts.
You cannot sell anything because of it.
You're not gonna sell it, but we have to maintain it, more cost. So we don't wanna develop in this stuff. I'm not gonna do another goddamn thing until you guys have to tell us what's going on, but tell us. Don't send us a frickin' letter. I don't get them. There's all kinds of people in our companies that get them. I didn't get it. Then I get a bill for that. I was like, where is this coming from? I don't know anything about the ordinance. To me, that's just something we've had to do.
Yeah,
But then we get a bill for somebody to cut it? Come on. Developers won't come here. We will tell them not to come here because we can't deal with it. City of Dubuque, that's the same problem. Same problem. Deal with Mike Van Miller. That and some. That is the biggest bunch of BS that there ever was. And I know why they're not coming to town. They're moving to Wisconsin. Because of the crap that he's pulled. You're doing the same thing. We're not gonna get new people with this bullshit. That's what we're getting. Why would we want to develop here? Why? Then I get a freaking bill for cutting grass? Come on. Give us a notice or tell us something. I don't know everything that goes on. There's too many things to do. But why is some stupid ordinance coming? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it, Joe? It don't make sense. Are you gonna get any more new people? No. You're gonna discourage people to come.
I believe we had the ordinance on the books a long time, didn't we?
We have.
Just haven't been following it.
We changed that, well, last year, I believe it was, we thought that the 8 was too restrictive and we moved it up to 10.
The amount of energy and investment that you guys put in here is deeply appreciated, and we know what.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it isn't. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've been here for 50-some years. And all the money I pay for taxes and all the things I've done for this town. I take a lot of crap from this town. Now I'm getting this bullshit from ordinances, and I don't believe it's not the way it is. Come on, guys, get realistic. They don't treat me like this in Dyersville. They're nice about it. The mayor will call me and tell me what's going on or something that's going out there. Hey, it's nice. And they even wish a Merry Christmas. I don't get a bullshit deal from this town. And I pay more money than anybody pays in Dyersville. It's crap. It's totally unrelated to what's going on. I like to get along with you. That's the way it should work. Come and work with us. Don't send us a frickin' bill and we can cut that goddamn grass itself. That isn't alone. I'm not gonna pay the bill. Put it on my taxes and see what I do. I'll take it to court. You wanna go to court? I'll take it.
You wanna take the court and you've gotten notification, the city gave you notification.
I didn't get it.
Your company received notification. Your company.
I
received
did,
notification.
I don't deny it, I did receive it, I don't deny it, but I placed the call and I told her, the phone was cutting on that bad. He's the person broke, he was coming back as soon as it's fixed, but it's still taking, I didn't proceed it, so. I mean, why would I develop that land and I'm trying to work with this thing and I'm still getting, I mean, 2 days of leeway would be done.
I think it was more leeway than that. I think that was from the final notice that the date.
Yeah, but
the date had been moved several times prior to the city cutting the grass. Is that correct?
We've been cutting the grass, it's just like, it's like,
Correct. It's not, it is correct. You were notified several times and it didn't get cut.
No, I was notified one time.
That's not true, that's not true, Sal. I know it's not. So,
I mean, I.
If you wanna be mean to us contractors, go ahead.
apparently
See
we
what
all.
it does, see what it does for you in the future. You're gonna find out. They're not gonna come, and I don't blame them. Why should we have to take all the heat? We have to do enough as it is, and we try to make money, and it's tough to do. Especially when you're paying it, the percentage of interest of paying now is tough. But don't dictate to us a bunch of baloney and cut our grass, but we don't even know it's being done. I didn't have a clue. When we got all this equipment, we could do it ourselves. There's a lot of people involved in our company, you know?
Okay, I think we're sorry that the thing caught you by surprise. The intent behind the
Oh.
ordinance
Totally.
is just to keep the city looking nice. So that's the balance.
I admire
The city is developing.
That's good,
That's the
but
intent.
not the way you do it. Come on.
We get a lot of complaints too. The city gets a lot of complaints about.
Yeah, well, they should get. We get a lot of it too.
I'm sorry that it caught you by surprise.
Yeah, but what about, I didn't have time to go around the town and pick up every spot for the car, but like I said, for the Scott Springs and Thunder Valley was the car, but my land was car, but that wasn't. I mean, Starburst looks like exactly like my grass. And so what do you want me to bring you to see the level of native grass or what?
It's not an intent, it's just an error that it wasn't wrong. That's all I can say.
But,
That
so,
was
but
not-
my bed was cut 3 weeks ago, and this one wasn't yet, so nobody saw that on the corner of Scott Springs and Thunder Valley Drive. How's that work, guys? Why are you gonna pick up like individuals?
It wasn't.
And when I was approached by city, personnel to get a quote for the Thunder Valley, for Llano Drive to extend it. I mean, we came to you guys and you denied that bill, and I paid money for it, and I didn't go up to city for that, so. It's like AJ said, let's work together, but not just get screwed with each other. I mean,
You want to run contractors,
What-
just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing it. Nothing will happen. Nothing's gonna happen in this town. You're creating that kind of atmosphere. Go for it. You might get to tell us what to do, young lady, but tell you what, we're not gonna do everything you want. Just because you want that. That's not the way it works.
I don't think personal attack is there. You have a whole council that is making policies, making the ordinance.
You know. I've done this a lot of years.
Yes, you have.
And I paid the price. I done some things, you know, wastewater. You give me, then I get a notice, I get 10 acres. Why is that?
I don't know, I wasn't part of it.
Why wasn't it? But I did a lot of work. It's been $5.5 million to get it right. And I don't get anything back. And a bunch of grief from the city. Why? It's not worth it. Why are you fighting me? You know what? We spent $5.5 million. And what do we get? Nothing. Basically nothing. We get somebody that wants to come to town and need 30 acres. I gotta come to town, city, and hey, wish you could help me with this. No, we should not have to beg. That is just a bunch of baloney. And I don't need it. I'm getting too old for this crap, but I keep doing it. Because I can. And somebody can't do it like I want to do it. But this is the way I'm being treated? No, come on. You can do better than this guy, come on. You can fight with me all you want, but don't be stupid. That's what we are. We're being stupid. I don't like it. You don't want to work with me? Fine, tell me you don't want to work with me. Come on. Do it. I haven't treated you wrong yet.
I think you're assuming a lot of intent that is not there. we want to work with you. We just want the city to look nice as well. That's it.
Then you come and talk to us. Don't send me a freaking bill for cutting grass, because I can cut it. That's wrong. We have all kinds of equipment to do it. And people we can get, we can do it. Don't send me a bill for $4,000 some dollars to cut grass. I'm going, what? Where's this coming from? We can do that ourselves. That was very disturbing. Very. But who's making all the ordinances? Come on, quit it. Get a life. Do something outside your bill, your job. Christ's sake, do something. That's all I do is something. The grief I don't need. Don't pull that on me. That's bullshit. And I don't like it. So I don't get this grief in other times. So I do, I need it. Piece of cake. To do this stuff. Really. So you think you got problems, you got that too. So double up. Now you do it too much? Yes, I want to quit. I don't need this much. I don't need it. I got people that want to come and build, but with the interest rates the way they are, cost of product, concrete now is $165 a yard. And if you gotta use 5,000 yards, that's a lot of money. So you gotta believe it takes a lot of guts to do anything. And then to get shit from the city for something we didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, you might have sent a notice. That probably got tracked. Who knows? Send it to me. PO Box 50, I'll get it. Don't send it to somebody else. I don't know you're doing. I don't know anything. I have a manufacturer who wants to come to this town. Wants to come here. Don't do it. Don't come here. The town is being bullshit. Too many ordinances. You get to create ordinances. Isn't that a wonderful thing you can do? Oh, I'm a city manager, I'm a do whatever, but I get shit because we get all these ordinances. Come on, let up.
I think I haven't heard anything new in the last about 5 minutes. I mean, I'm looking for, is there a new thing you want to discuss or
No,
just, okay. I'm gonna call it when the citizen comment is gonna close and I will need a motion to.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Ron, aye.
Doesn't matter.
Motion carries.
That is for 5 different companies, but I'm gonna need to.
Okay, yeah, I will talk to Connor and who did it and see if he can separate it out.
Alright.
That's right, by property, you bet.